Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, the market is relentless. S&P futures hit the 6,500. Actually, the high was 6,502 and a half. And I said last November, the S&Ps will hit 6,500 this year. Well, I thought we were going to get a pullback first, and I still think we're going to get this pullback. And I remember when I was working with the Nigerians, I said 6,500 is in the cards this year. I do think the market's going to pull back here. I would be loading up on the SPXUs and the SQQQs here. I do think these gaps below will get filled. Do I think 5,700? Well, that's about 800 points from here. That could happen on the S&P. You should never know what can come out of the woodwork. However, I think it'd be short-lived, and I think we're going right back up. We saw the Russell today pushing up about 1.9%. That was the standout here. The Russell, all the bank stocks were up big, but again, with the thought of cutting interest rates here. You got the Dow up 1%. You got the NASDAQ that was actually down on the day. And you have the S&P futures up less than 0.3%. So the Russell was a standout here today, but great patterns right out of the gate this morning. The first thing I saw this morning was the big sell divergences on the 30 and 60-minute time frames on the index futures. When the S&P futures were pushing up to new all-time highs, I said, let them have them. And boy, oh boy, did they ever. They dropped 10, 15, 20 points like that in about a matter of, I would say, about 30 minutes. The S&P futures hit that high, 02.5. You blinked, they were trading 95, 90 on the S&P, 64.90, 64.85, 64.80, ultimately hitting the low of 64.67 today. And I'll show you at that point, I said I would not be short down here. The 30-minute time frames and the 60s were getting deeply oversold, combined with the 15. Great patterns there. And then we went up on the way. We ran 30 off the low. So 65.02.5 down to 67, 64, 67. Really nice drop of about 35 down and then 30 up. So nice movement here, more than 30. We didn't have one stop out on the index futures today or any of the stocks here. Great patterns here. We had double blues here on the diamonds. We had great short patterns. This morning, Avago, I shorted at 318. I blinked. I covered it down, 50, 80 cents, whatever. Stock dropped 10 and then rallied about, let's see here. Avago rallied roughly about 3 at the end of the day. Coinbase, I was shorting all the way up from 41.80 or 41.50 or 40.50 up to 45. I didn't care. I saw the pattern. The high was 345 and change. Coinbase traded below 323, dropped over 22 off the high. Monster stock there. Again, great patterns on the double red on MSTR. I have to show you great patterns on the Russell. On the 15, getting oversold, rallied about $1. Meta didn't, phenomenal pattern in Meta. I'm going to show you. Also, the gold future, the gold really took off, and I'll show you the GLDs, how important it is to use the underlying ETF when you're trading gold. Apple, some crazy news came out at 2 o'clock, pushed stock above the 235, immediately dropped about $1.50, $2. Big sell divergences, and I'll show you that pattern. Netflix today, absolutely kabooshed. Netflix down 20. At one point today, Netflix was trading 12.37, and guess what? When Netflix was trading at 12.37, great pattern on Netflix. We got the sell reversal around 2, and then the push up around 250. But I'll show you that pattern. Netflix was trading 12.37. Closed around the 1204, down 33. The new high, the MACDs did not confirm on the 30 and the 60-minute time and the 30 and 60-minute time frame. So really great patterns here. Tesla, Meta on the opening, and NVIDIA, great patterns. Tesla pushed up here. You know what? Let's just get right to it. How's that? Okay. So let's look at Tesla here. Well, first of all, this is the Meta trade. I have Meta up here. So Meta was in a negative, the 15 reversed to sell right here. This is Meta on the opening. Look at this Meta. It pushes up 95, pushes up to new highs. The MACDs on this 15 could not confirm. The 30-minute could not confirm right here. The 15 reverses to sell, 85% chance that the highs are in for the day. When the 30-minute time frame reverses here, what do you look to do? Okay, you have a sell disconnect. The 60-minute time frame is still bullish. The 30 reverses to sell. It correlates with the 15. What do? You short the first bounce on the 15-minute time frame. Look at Meta, kabooshed here. All right, absolutely kabooshed. If you took the high here, 85 all the way down to 78, dropped roughly about roughly about $7 here. Great pattern. This is exactly how the overbought into the negative MACD. Guess what? Good luck. Okay, good luck. All right. Let's look at Tesla. Big patterns in Tesla here today. Tesla gaps up here. You can see Tesla gapping up. All right. Here's the 30-minute time frame. The MACDs cannot confirm. Okay, look at the 60-minute time frame here. The MACD cannot confirm. Right. Is this today? What's today? The 12th. It's right here. Okay, the MACDs cannot confirm. I said to everybody this morning, I would short Tesla with my eyes closed. Tesla, 348, kabooshed, down $10 within an hour. These are sell divergences. NVIDIA, look at NVIDIA, another great one. Pushes up here on the opening. Okay, 83.97. I couldn't say short fast enough. Look at the MACD's negative. Okay, on the 60-minute time frame, the new high, the MACD non-confirming. Let's look at the 30-minute here. The MACD, again, pushing up. The MACD, if you draw your horizontal line, could not confirm the high, right? Could not confirm the high. Look at that. New high, the MACD could not confirm. These patterns, I'm telling you, if you could come in and study the bigger time frames and recognize the divergences. This is why I spent nearly 10 years of my life building this and seeing the patterns and understanding the methodology I created. These are actual trades. These are idea generation. This is not gut. This is all technical analysis. And this is what's really, really important here and now. Let's see, gold here. Let's go to the gold, the GLDs here. Okay. Oh, sorry, typed the wrong stock in. GLDs here. Okay, you can see gold reversed, the GLDs reversed to buy on the 30-minute time frame. And then if you look here, the 60-minute time frame reversed as well. So I said to my friend, he said, I'm looking to short gold. I said, I would buy every pullback on gold. I said, I would buy every pullback on gold. And I look at this beautiful bull flag. Okay, here's the first pullback on the 15, and then here's the second. Well, here's the first pullback on the 15. I'll show it to you here. Gold pulled in here. The 15 went negative, so that meant that 80. So now you have what's called a sell reversal right here, and 85% of the chance, 85% of the highs are in for the day, and then you get the oversold condition right here. Wait, this is this one here. This is the first one here. Sorry, this is the first one right here. The first oversold ran about $1. Gold ran about 10 here on that. So that's $1 on the GLDs. It pushed down again. The 15s reversed to sell. But this oversold condition set up the long on the 30-minute time frame and beautiful pattern on the GLDs. Gold went from the GLD 308.45. Look at that. Boom. Ran about 8 points on the GLDs. Okay, beautiful pattern there. Let's look at Coinbase. Coinbase pretty wild. Once the 15-minute time frame, look at this Coinbase. Look at this 3-4. Look at that. I was shorting above 40. I was shorting 41 up to 45, and then when the 15 reverses to sell here, okay, caught a deep oversold condition on the 15. Didn't go much. MACD's negative. Again, when the 15 reverses to sell, right, you have an 85% that the highs are in for the day. But look at Coinbase for a second here, all right? The 30-minute time frame reverses to buy right here. Remember, I always told you when the 30-minute time frame reverses to buy or sell, let's go and buy in this case, which it is, and the MACDs are above the pivot. And even though it correlated with the 15 and the 30, the 15 and the 60-minute time frame, we look for shorts. Okay. Now, there was two divergences here. One, Coinbase is making a new high on the 30-minute time frame, and the MACDs are not confirming. That's one right there. Do you see that? The MACD did not confirm on the 30-minute time frame this high. It should have made a higher high than this point right here. Okay. Second, right, the algorithm indicator 4 on the 30-minute reverses to buy when the MACDs are above. So you take the short, wait for the pullback. Now, I mean, you were 22 points at one point from the 10-bar moving average. There's a little tidbit. The price action was higher on the 5-minute time frame than the moving average. So basically, I knew they were going to drop. And then basically, here it is, the 5-minute time frame. Once the 30 reverses here, you take the short here. You can see the 30-minute reverses sell. Every bounce on Coinbase in the sell disconnect here, 29.65 was a short. Again, getting overbought into the negative MACD. You can see the 30-minute reverses to sell at around 1 o'clock. So anytime after 1 o'clock on Coinbase, you can see that all the shorts here was a short, here was a short, okay, again, here's another short, here's more shorts here, okay, here, and then obviously 2680 drops here, keeps shorting it, but now it's getting too late to the end of the day. But basically, the strategy is when you have a sell disconnect, you're looking for shorting opportunities, also buy and sell divergences, but more so, you're looking for opportunities for shorts here as well. Look at MSTR, gaps up today, 399. Look at the negative MACD on the 30. Look at the negative MACD on the 30. I'll bring up the 60-minute time frame, MSTR. Where's this thing going? Look at this. Look at all this overhead resistance. Gaps up here, MACD negative, and you're in a negative trend. So what happens is the 15-minute time, let's go to 15 over here, put the 15 over here. 15, still a negative trend, but look at this pattern. Look at this pattern here, MSTR. Okay, beautiful short on the overbought condition right here at 245. Never looks back, drops to about 4.5, 5. Okay, if you look here, this is called a double red short on MSTR. When the 5-minute time frame reverses to sell, when you're in a negative trend, the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute time frame are in a negative trend. What do you look to do? You take this, look at this beautiful bear flag. You short the first bounce here, 88 and change. Look at it drop. Boom, $3. Beautiful pattern, MSTR. And now we'll just see what happens. That's called a double red short. And then obviously you see the push up here. This push up here, set up the short on the 15-minute time frame, and you can see the drop of about $3.5, $4. Great, great, great pattern there on MSCR. Here's Netflix. Okay, I don't know if I did Netflix or not. I just can't remember right now. Netflix here. Long day. Pushes up here. You tell me, Netflix, 1237. Did this MACD and this MACD make new highs? Hell no. So now, sorry, that's a 30-minute. Let me go to 60. I apologize. Okay, look at the MACD. The MACD make a new high on the 60 or the 30? Anybody? No? Absolutely not. So that's a sell divergence in a positive trend. Okay? Sell divergence in a positive trend. And then once the 30-minute time frame, well, let's go to the 15. Let's go to the 30 here. Boom. Let's go to the 15. Boom. The 15 reverses to sell. Okay. Then the 30 reverses to sell. Boom. And what do you look to do? Okay. You see that? Okay. So basically what we're looking to do is look to short the next bounce. Now, Netflix is about to reverse negative tomorrow on the 60-minute. So we'll be looking for shorts there. It's touching right here. You can see the yellow dots. But once you're in that trend, okay, from the time period of 230, look at this beautiful bounce here. First bounce on the 5-minute, 12.13. Look at this thing drop, $4 more. Look at this thing drop. Okay, dropped about 7. Great pattern there. Let's look at QBTS today. Okay, not a stock I really trade, but I'll show you the pattern anyway. Okay, you can see the 30-minute time frames bullish, oversold into the positive MACD, rising ADX on the 13. Look at that beautiful pattern here. Stock runs about 70, 80 cents. But let's look at QBTS here, right? Here's a 60, very strong. 60 reverses to buy yesterday. Positive MACD, rising ADX. So the 30 and the 60 reverse to buy. Okay, when the 15-minute time frame reverses to buy right here, it correlates. I told you, when the MACDs are above the pivot and the algo reverses to buy, you could take the short, and then you could take the pullback on the long. Here's the 15 correlating with the 30 and the 60-minute time frame, and here's the push down, boom, and there's the push up, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. The stock ran about $1. That's QBTS. So that's the first pullback on the 15-minute time frame after the 15 correlated with the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. Great pattern there. All right. Let's see here. The spiders. Okay. Reverses to sell on the 15-minute time frame. Same thing with the QQQs. Okay. So when this happened right here, when this happened right here, okay, again, I knew that you went from a positive trend to a buy disconnect and to a sell reversal. 15 reverses a sell. So I said to everybody, I'd be looking to buy him here for a trade. The 15s are oversold against the 30 and the 60-minute time frame, which are still bullish. Caught the long. You can see the spiders ran here for a trade, 07 up to they ran about 11 points on the S&P. And then watch this pullback here. When the spiders got down at 115, they got that pushed down. Look at the 30-minute time frame. I was jumping up and down like a baboon. I said, this 30-minute time frame, look at this. Look at this, right? ADX is still rising. Good buying pressure, greater than 10. Oversold. I say, guys, I wouldn't be short with your money here. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting as well. Okay. That caused me to take that long. And if you look here on a 60-minute time frame, okay, so the 60 was really getting oversold. ADX rising, MACD positive, big buying pressure. So when this 30-minute time frame got oversold, the S&P futures were trading 67. I said, I wouldn't be short with your money down here, right? And of course, they ran 30 points at the end of the day. But I want to show you something else that's pretty interesting, okay? So, number one, looking at the S&P futures, when I called out long, okay, on the S&Ps, where was it? Right here. It's 5 minutes. Give me a second. Right here. Right here. I said to everybody, right, that we're making new lows here. We're making new lows on the 5-minute time frame, but the MACDs combined with the deep oversold condition on the 15 spiders against the 30 and the 60-minute spiders, the 30-minute time frame getting oversold, the 60 looks like it's going to start to turn up. I said, guys, I'm a buyer here, okay, right? And we only got maybe one or two entries. I think we were 63 to 68 on the S&P on that range, or 62 to 67. If you bought 67s, well, that's a godsend. But anyway, that was the low. But so I said, are you seeing what I'm seeing to my community? And what I was seeing was the fact that the S&Ps were pushing down here to new lows, but the MACDs did not confirm the low. Right there, look at that. The MACDs did not confirm the low on the S&P futures. An absolute Picasso, and then never look back. Beautiful pattern. Bitcoin here. I'm going to show you Bitcoin. Bullish here. Look at the ADX rising. Big MACD positive. Look at the 30-minute. Very, very bullish here. Now, when you see this pattern here, where the 30-minute reverses to buy, and it correlates with its 60 at 130. Look at this pullback. Look at this monster pullback in Bitcoin. Look at this. 3 o'clock, 21,000, right? 733. Bitcoin reverses to buy on the 15. It correlates with the 60. When the 30-minute time frame reverses to buy right here, you're going to a positive trend. Binka, 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 boop. Boom. What do? You buy the first pullback on the 15, and there it is. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. At 1,200 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. Bitcoin ran 1,200. All right. With that being said, okay, I showed you a lot of great patterns here today. These are patterns except the Bitcoin. And again, looking at the underlying ETF, you can see the underlying ETF was very, very powerful and strong. With that being said, when I come back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. Okay, so for tomorrow, we have the big inflation number, the PPI number, and then Friday we have the retail sales number. So we'll see what the number brings. The last CPI number, the market exploded. That was on Tuesday. Actually, was that Tuesday was, the CPI number on the 12th. So tomorrow we have the PPI, and then on Friday we have retail sales. Again, we'll just wait to see what to expect for the market. For me, the MACDs are negative now on the underlying ETFs on the 30 and 60-minute time frame, and I'll show them to you here. So any push up here, I'm a short seller. By far, I'm a short seller. Okay, if we do get a push up tomorrow, I am a short seller. These MACDs are not going to confirm on any new high on the 30-minute time frame. If you look at the Qs, the Qs are actually, I think, are in trouble here. You can see the MACD cross positive above, the MACD negative. So if we do get a push up, I do not believe that the MACDs on the 60 and the 30-minute time frames are going to go with it. I do believe it's a shorting opportunity. And with that being said, we'll see where the market goes here. But I do think the market's on borrowed time here. If you look at the daily here, okay, I know I've been saying this. Look at this monster bear flag here. This is a monster bear flag here. You're making new highs here, and the MACDs are non-confirming here. So again, you got these gaps here below that I do believe that they're going to get eventually filled here. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm hoping will happen. Okay, again, I'll be looking to buy SPXUs or SQQQs here. I do believe that this is a swing type of a trade. You could get 20, 21, 22 on the SQQQs. But again, that's how I would position. If you own stocks here, I say I would be out. Okay, I'd be flat. I'd be out. I'd be wait for an opportunity to rebuy things. Just don't sit there like a deer in the headlights. So everybody, you have your own understanding of what to expect here. Oh, I wanted to show you one last pattern here today. I mean, I know we're getting into the second segment here, but I wanted to show you Apple here, which was really dynamic. And I can't stop teaching, right? If you look at Apple here, again, you see the push up here, and Apple right around the 230, 215 time period, Apple ran to 235. I couldn't even speak that fast to say short. And you can see the new highs, the MACDs, the non-confirm on the 15, the MACD, the non-confirm on the 30, and big, all three. The MACD did not confirm the high right here on the 60-minute time frame. So with that, like I said, for me, tomorrow, if we do get any rally and we're pushed up above the 6,500 level, I think the market's on borrowed time. Again, I'd be looking to sell. I'd be looking to buy SPXUs, SQQQs. If you bought them a little higher, I would average down. I would look to buy more and average down. I think this is a great swing trade for the next few months. Also, I want to tell you that I believe that these gaps will get filled, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. 3 would make me happy down to that 56.70 level. But you know what? You scratch your head. You're like, what's going to cause it? I've been around too long. I've seen it all. All right. When I get back, I'd like to share a great story with you. So stay tuned. like I said, people from all around the world are so desperate to want to learn. And, there's a learning curve for everybody. And one thing I will tell you is that, there's different methods of learning and training, right? And so yesterday, someone came to me and said that they lost some money trading the market. And we had a phenomenal day on the indexes, phenomenal days trading stock. And so I said to the person, I said, he said, well, you're going to teach me everything. And I did teach him the methodology. And, the first time I met with him. And then the second time I said to him, I'm ready to share, the next part that you need to learn. He said to me, it's really important. I lost $4,000 today. So I said to him, it's really important that we have a talk. And I went over this whole mentality, because you could be like a Nick Saban or any type of head coach, and you could draw X's and O's on the board. I could explain this in my sleep. But then if he didn't mention the loss that he had, right, I would never have gone into my experience, my teachings of how to be consistent. I tried to see what he did wrong, and I tried to understand it, and I really tried to turn it around and try to explain to him in the elementary form how if you do this approach, it's, I believe confidently, that you will be very, very successful. Well, the person didn't really want to hear it, and each to each his own. But with that being said, when you're teaching every single day like I do in the live stream, okay, it's not just about learning the technicals. There's the technicals, and then there's the mindset, the psychology of trading. It has to come to one. Okay, it has to come to one. And so with that being said, people will react differently, right? You put 100 people in a room, 100 people are going to react differently. The one thing I will tell you, it's not just understanding the technical analysis, it's also understanding the whole picture, understanding the mindset, understanding how to do things, the approach, the mindset. You hit your goals, you stop. And everything throwing into a big pot of soup, all the ingredients. So bottom line, for me, I got the 42 years experience. I tried in my heart to explain this to the person. Had the person been up on the day, I would have went right into and taught him more and more strategies, more and more of the methodology. But when he told me of the loss that he had, I said to myself, time out. I got to go back. I got to understand this. I got to see what you're doing wrong, how you're doing it, understand it, and try to tweak you and help you. And guess what? I did the best I could. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for joining me tonight here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Again, if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around, you can join me at sktrading.live. If you hit the welcome 10 code, you get a special bonus there. I believe you get 1 month free there. Also, I'm going to be hosting the Tokyo session that went extremely well last night. We had over 5,500 people attend, and you could type in the code Tokyo 2+1 is a night session that we'll be doing once a week from 8 to 10. It's a great offer, especially if you're trading prop accounts, because there's no margin activity during that night. At night. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, at official Stephen Kalayjian on Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you like to reach out to me, you can always text me at 914-500-7484. Have a great night, everybody. God bless. It's 90 degrees here in Jupiter, Florida. I'm going out after this, and I'm going to have some dinner, and I'll be seeing you all tomorrow. So God bless you. Enjoy your family and friends and pets. And most important, God bless the United States of America. Be well, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, Be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.